Hi, my name is Bill. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the tub cover ring on your washer. The reason why you might need to replace this is because your clothes are getting stuck between either of the two bins inside the wash basin, or because your cover ring is broken. For this repair, you'll need a 1/4" nut driver, a 5/16 nut driver, a putty knife, and a pair of channel locks. Warning: before doing any repairs, please disconnect your power source. So this is our washer model. We've got a GE here, and keep in mind that our model might be a little bit different than yours, but the same techniques should still apply. So we're going to disconnect our drain hose. Keep in mind there might be some water still in the line, so keep a bucket or a towel handy just in case. Alright, now you're going to want to make sure that your water is turned off. And now we're going to turn the washer around and disconnect our water hoses. What we're going to do is remove our hose with the channel locks, and just keep in mind that there might be some water in the hose still. The next thing we're going to do is disconnect this panel here. So we're going to take out all the different nuts with our 1/4" nut driver. Now that we have all the nuts out, we can remove this panel. What we're going to have to do, move this to the right and then lift it up, which will expose the wires, and we'll disconnect all the wires. Keep in mind you might want to take a picture of this as well, just so you remember where all the wires are. Okay, now that we've taken a picture, take all the rest of these wires out. And finally, we're going to disconnect our air hose. Once that's disconnected, we can set this panel off to the side. Now, turn this back around. So with the putty knife, we're going to push the metal tabs that hold the front of the washer on. We're going to pop that off, and we can just set this door to the side now. And now we'll take our 1/4" nut driver, and we're going to remove the screws that hold the top of this on. Now that those screws are off, we can now remove the top by pulling forward and just lifting off. Keep in mind there's still going to be this wire attached here, so if you want, you can remove that just so it doesn't get tangled or caught on anything. And what we're going to do is we're going to push up on this tab here. There we go. And we'll just set that to the side, and now we'll set the top part off to the side. Now with our 1/4" nut driver again, we're going to take the remainder of this part off. So we're going to undo a few more screws. Keep in mind the edges on this are going to be sharp. That's why I am wearing work gloves. That'll pull forward and you can just pull it right off. Alright, and now that we've removed that, we can just set this whole piece to the side, let it hang off carefully so that none of the wires get cut or broken. Now we are going to need our 5/16 nut driver. We're going to undo the rest of the bolts that are holding the tub to the frame. And once those are off, just pull off these rubber pieces like so. Now what you're going to want to do is unhook all the tabs.
And we can pull this top off and we can set that to the side.
Now, grab your new OEM replacement tub cover ring. If you don't have one already, you can find one on our online store.
Okay, that's on. Okay, that tab's on. That tab's on. That tab is on. That tab is on. Okay, that tab is on. And the front tabs are on. Got all the tabs on again. Next, now we're going to put our shock absorbers back on to the little plastic tabs here. And using our 5/16 nut driver, we can screw them all back in.
Alright.
Now we can get these two panels, set them back on top. Just like that. Get the screw holes lined up. Make sure your back panel lined up with the water inlet valves. And then we can screw all this down. And using our 1/4 inch nut driver again, screw these down. And finish securing that. Screw this back into place here. Now we're going to put our sensor back on. What we're going to do is we're going to feed this back through just like that. And once it's through, put it right back into that little slot. Push down, it clicks into place. So we're going to set this down on here just like that. Push it back and lock it into place. And now we're going to use the little screws with our 1/4 inch nut driver again, and we're going to screw this back into place and plug this back in here just like that. Plugging this back in here, and we'll plug this back in here. Okay, so this one goes here. This one goes here. Up here. Down here. Now we can plug this back in, just like this. Now we'll plug the air hose back in, and we can snap this back into place. Now we'll secure this back into place. There we go. Now we can replace the front panel. Just slide these little slots onto the tabs, right on the bottom there, and push it in. And there it is. And now you can reattach the hoses to the washer. And again, use the channel locks to make sure that you have a tight connection so that the hose will not leak. Once your hoses are connected, you can turn your washer back around, and your repair is complete.
Finally, don't forget to plug in your appliance. If you need to replace any parts for your appliances, you can find an OEM replacement part on our website, PCApplianceRepair.com.
Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and share our video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us make more videos just like these for you to watch for free.